Hello one more time, Kari. It was very funny because I was just recording this video answer to you, and I just got the notification that you made another post, which is great. So, in the second part that you play, look, there's something very interesting that can also give you some direction in the phrasing. So, the part goes like it has always this visiting the neighbor note, so E, M, D sharp, E, and then F, E, so it's just this kind of painfulness. In this type of situations, always try to bring a little bit more impulse to the weird, let's say, note. In this case, we have the D sharp and F. Like, to make us feel that the actual home place, it's, let's say, the not like the stable note is the E. So we have this. It's very subtle type of thing, but kind of a little bit more intention there. It's very, very, very subtle type of thing. Then we have in the next bars, the harmony can really tell you the whole thing, because we are in here, let's say, with this A major chord with the G sharp on the bass. We have this. Now, the foreigner note here on the melody part that doesn't belong to the harmony is this D that comes in there, that it anticipates from the next bar. Which means when we play here, we have this. Instead of starting loud, we have this. The energy goes to da-dum, so the dynamic opens up to this D, and then same idea with these neighbor tones, and then here we've got this D chord, this D major, and now if before we had the correct, let's say, note in the melody with the harmony, and then at the end of the bar we had the, let's say, the strange note here, a D in an E chord. Now it's the opposite. Now we have the incorrect starting note and the correct resolution. So we have this. So now the tension in this bar, I will write again everything on the score with the dynamics. We have this the tension here and the resolution. So we've got this. See that? So in the first one we had this putting tension to the next, and then the other one we have this it resolves. So they have kind of mirrored dynamics, which is very interesting. And then I think from after that, I'm doing already very good job. It's just there's a lot of melody, so it's easier to conduct. This da-da-da. Don't lose the melody in here. Da-da-da. In this beep. Really keep this, let's say, in a secondary level. And then maybe this part is the most uncomfortable. And it has again this motif T-I or T-I going one step up or down. So try to, when this second part starts, really have the right hand, let's say, very accurate with the dynamic, because then we can relate to when it's kind of broken, like here. Kind of it's broken down into two parts, starts in the melody and then continues in the bass. So, and yet the melody needs to be preserved. So this is what the dynamics is going to clarify very much. So here again, tension, and then resolution on the upper note on the melody, and then the bass starts to move, and then resolution. So that's very, let's say, different dynamic movement is in there. And I think the easiest way I think about it is really kind of understanding these motifs that appear, and in this case this half tone going up and down, and then just kind of making the puzzle. Sometimes it's all together, but sometimes it's broken up, and then in this bar number 24 is broken into different sections. And yeah, that's pretty much this part. And of course, again, like I said with the previous part, with the first section that you played, you have lots of things to play around with variation and doing like opposites and stuff. So not to have all the, how to say, the repeats the same. Then one last thing I wanted to mention. Let me just go over here. Here again, the melody, we have this ta-da, and the B, keep it somewhat not hidden, but on the accompaniment, let's say, dynamic. And here, I don't know how you make it, but I would play not the D, not open, because then you would be forced to move in here with the fingering that is written on the score. You are forced to cut this very, very short, this 8, and I would rather try to link it to this. So playing the D here, have the A still on the bar. I know it's a little bit tricky, but if you can practice it and reach this, that would be really awesome. So so then it would really preserve the melody. Sorry. You have this D, A, D, and then here you can take it off. So you have this, or actually even with two and just like that. That could be probably easier. Yeah. And all this phrasing, that really, this is a wonderful piece actually to practice all this, like agogics and different phrasing and accelerando and speed up. And definitely this last section of bar 31. It really, this chromatic really invites to move a little bit forward the music. And then let it hang a little bit on the top, and then and sometimes in one repeat you can go much more direct to the next section, and the second one you can make a much larger ritardando until, how to say, like to prepare the comeback of the theme. So definitely be flexible on that, and sometimes it's worth really to also write down the first repeat, and then little ritardando, second repeat much more ritardando, or if first repeat I want more accelerando and then less retardando to go more straight. You can really write down, let's say, like a kind of schema, like a agogic schema of the piece, to build up a little bit the structure so it doesn't become too repetitive. That's always the risk with this type of valses and stuff, that it becomes repetitive and that the repeats are just literally like a copy paste, and that is never the point in music. And if it's helpful, just write it down, and eventually, once you practice with it, it will really become much more natural, and you will not really be able to, you will not need to think, not that you're gonna be able. So yeah. Let me know if that's helpful, and if you have any questions, just write here down below in the comments, and I will be very happy to listen to your complete version in some time when you have really everything practiced and figured out with the phrasing and the intentions. So yeah, happy practicing, and I'll see you around in the forum.